The missing Fujicron, it is here. Finally, we have a lens dedicated for portraiture photography, but also for abstract street photography and so lighter style of street photography. This lens, it is metal built, it has an F2 aperture, it is light portable, and it's focusing very fast and accurate on the Fujifilm X bodies. So let's talk about this now. Hi there, Tudor Matescu here. I have here a lens that it's a must-have lens if you love the Fujicron glass, if you love the small Fujicron lineup, like the 35mm f2, like the 50mm f2, like the 90mm, and so on. So this lens has the magical 75mm focal length, and this means that you'll get a 112mm focal length regarding field of view, so almost close to the classic 105mm lenses with an f2 aperture. This lens is made by TTArtisan. This lens was produced first for the full frame mount, but also they've decided to bring it for the Fujifilm X Mount. So I've received this lens from TTArtisan and I want to share with you my experience with this lens on Fujifilm bodies. So regarding the size and weight of this lens, I do feel that this lens is a perfect match. Look here on the Fujifilm bodies. I have it on Fujifilm X-T50. I also mounted this lens on Fujifilm X Pro 3, and also I'll address how you will be able to see the frame lines on Fujifilm X Pro 3 and also on Fujifilm X-T3. So on all these bodies, this lens it is very well balanced. Very important, look here, it is smaller than the WR lenses, smaller and lighter, metal built with an aperture ring. So what more could you want? Look here, nice, and also it has very nice clicks. Also this lens comes with a plastic lens hood that I'm really liking. It has a special form. It is something between a square hood and the rose petal, and it's doing a really great job. So overall, regarding the build of this lens, the size and the weight, it is 10 out of 10 from my point of view. It's a pleasure to use this lens on any Fujifilm body, on Fujifilm X-T50, on Fujifilm X-T3, and so on. Metal feel, aperturing that you don't have on other lenses. And more than that, why I've said that this lens it's a Fujicron must-have lens, because you have a gap in the 50mm f2 and the 90mm f2, and this lens is staying between 50mm f2 and 90mm f2. And also I'll compare a little this lens to my 60mm f2.4 macro lens and to the 56mm lenses that we have on Fujifilm. Now, for who is this lens? Very important, for who is this lens? From my point of view, this lens it's a perfect match for any street photographer, for any passionate photographer that wants to make portraits, and also it can be used for portraiture photography in wedding photography. But I would especially buy this lens as a lens to go with a wide lens when you want to travel light, or when you want to have two lenses set up on you and you want to be very light. So maybe you are using 23mm f2 or 18mm f2 and you want a longer lens. I'm really liking the image quality from the 50mm f2, but it's not as long as other lenses. So I do feel especially the need to use longer lenses. I've used the 56mm f1.4 Sigma lens, the Viltrox lens, and the Airliner Viltrox lens. So all these 56mm lenses that are equivalent to an 85mm lens. From my point of view, I didn't like that field of view for portraiture photography and also for street photography. It's working and it's not working. I wanted a longer reach. The next lens that I've used, it is the 60mm f2.4, so a longer lens. I'm really loving this lens. It's a great lens, great size, okay AF, and everything is great, but it's a pretty old lens and it may have problem with the ribbon. I will not enter in too much details. But look now at this lens, the TTArtisan lens. It is a little bit bigger than the 60mm f2.4 and it's a f2 lens. And yes, the reach is a little bit longer. Well, how I felt this lens compared to a 56mm lens compared to the 60mm lens? Well, I felt it as usable as the 60mm lens. So this is why I really like it a lot, because it is pretty small, pretty compact and light. You don't feel it in your camera bag. The weight is very okay. And the field of view, it is very practical for street photography and for portraiture photography. So if I want to make portraits, I would definitely go with this lens because it will assure me great subject to background separation, better than a 56mm lens. So this is why I'm liking these longer lenses, and the working distance, it is pretty similar to a 56mm lens to a 60mm lens. So very versatile lens. By the way, if you want to make better photos, you must know that it's not about the gear, it's about composition, it's about light, it's about seeing with your eyes and pre-visualizing the picture. So for this, I've recently launched a course with my techniques to get better pictures. So if you want to learn to make better pictures and especially composition, why not join my Photography Academy? To get access to my course, you must be subscribed to my channel and join my membership Photography Academy level. When you'll have that level, you'll have access to my street photography composition course, where I show you how I am making the pictures and where I teach you how to make the same picture. So I'm telling you why a picture is good and why it's working and why I've decided to keep it in color or to keep it in black. So you learn lots of tips and techniques if you are joining the membership program. And more than that, joining my membership, it means that any premium course that I will launch, you'll have access to it. So join now my TM Photography Academy by subscribing to my channel and hit the join button from YouTube. Now let me address the image quality. How is the image quality of this lens? Well, the image quality of this lens, it's really great. How I've said, I've used this lens on the Sony a7C. Great images, great quality, very nice, pleasing sharpness, not digital sharpness, but sharp enough, very nice. It has a special rendering. And I would say that I'm loving more the rendering on the Fujifilm sensor than on Sony a7C. I don't know why, but the images are looking very good. The level of details, it's crazy good. So this lens, it's totally resolving the 40 megapixel sensor without any problems. So you can zoom in on the eye, on the details. You have plenty of details. The sharpness on the Fujifilm sensor, it's really amazing. It's looking very organic. It's very pleasing. So great sharpness and great resolution. So totally it's resolving the 40 megapixel sensor of the Fujifilm cameras. And more good news will follow. But what it bothered me a little, and also this was obvious on Sony, yes, in some contrasty situations, you'll have visible purple fringing that you can get rid of with one click. And this was the only problem that was bothering me, that I was able to see it in my pictures. More than that, you have very pleasing colors. I do feel the TTArtisan look, that it's something between Zeiss, also regarding the bokeh. Depending on the background, you can have some busy bokeh or some smooth bokeh. It really depends, but because you have this focal lens, you'll totally melt the background, how I'm able to show you in my pictures. And more than that, I really do feel that this lens has a special look. I'm really liking the blend that the TTArtisan glass is bringing regarding colors, rendering, sharpness, and bokeh. It's a real special rendering, very pleasing out there. So the portraits, the colors, the sharpness, the bokeh, everything, it's really top notch for a lens that it's so small and it's feeling so good in hand. And now here comes the best part, I would say, regarding the AF. Yes, the AF of this lens on Fujifilm X-T50, for my surprise, worked really great. So IAF with moving subjects, with moving targets, worked great. So great IAF, are you crazy? In AFC with a long lens on the 40 megapixel sensor. Top-notch IAF. I was really amazed. So regarding IAF in AFC, great, really great. The camera was able to find the eye with IAF plus AFC in custom zones. So this is my setting. And it worked great. So nothing to complain regarding AF. I was scared that the AF, it will not be so great as on the Sony cameras, because on Sony everything is working great and this is Fuji. I was thinking how the AF will work with a long lens, a tele lens. But it worked really great. Again, not a sports lens, but a lens for portraitures, for events, that will do the job very, very well. Now another tidbit to address, how I've said regarding the frame lines on Fujifilm X Pro 3. Yes, you do not have exactly frame lines on Fujifilm X Pro 3. They are pretty exactly, but not 100%. So if you have a Fujifilm X Pro camera, I would not rely on the optical viewfinder to make exactly composition. But this is now in sync with other lenses on Fujifilm X Pro 3. So if you want exactly framing, you must use the EVF. Now, should you get this lens? Well, I feel that if you love the Fujicron lineup, the 35mm f2, the 50mm f2, and you didn't want to go to the big chunky lenses like the 56mm f1.2 WR regarding size, weight, price, I think this is the best lens to go for. And why choose this and not Samyang 75mm f1.8? Because this is metal build and you have an aperture ring. And if you are loving Fujifilm for this kind of lenses, metal build aperture ring, this is the lens to go. The f2, it is sufficient in low light and for everyday photography. The rendered images are really, really great. The weight of the lens, it's really great. The package, it's giving you the mojo, it's inviting you to pick it up and to shoot it. And this lens, it's a great lens for everyday street photography when you don't want to get close, or for everyday portraiture photography and so on. And it can be paired with a wide lens, any lens that you want, and you'll have a wide lens and the tele lens, very capable, very capable. Again, with this lens, you'll definitely blow the background and you'll definitely get amazing portraiture. Definitely amazing portraiture. Very important. With the 56mm f1.4, 8 and so on, it is possible to miss a good portrait if you aren't getting close enough. But with this lens, full body portraits and close-up body portraits and headshots, definitely it will do a great, amazing job. Very important, very versatile. With 56mm focal lenses, you'll not be able to get a full body blown away like you'll be able to get this lens. The focal lens is very, very important. And now you have this in a very small portable package. So I'm totally recommending this lens. Use my affiliate links from the comments and description to get this lens because it's an amazing lens, a real amazing lens. And this was the reason that I've decided to review it, because it's a must-have lens in your Fujifilm kit. So if you're liking content like this, please use my affiliate links to get this lens. Also subscribe to my channel, give it a like to this video, leave me your comments, subscribe to my newsletter for photography tips and tricks, and also please be sure to check the next video. This is free and it's helping the channel to grow. Thank you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.